I don't know. My PlayStation controller wasn't muted. I guess no one's been hearing this conversation up to this point. It'd be like that. That's weird that I have to unmute my stuff even though my headphone, like my controller, has not been muted at all at this point. If I view my channel from like my laptop, I can see that I'm live right now. Unfortunately, there's nothing on screen for whatever reason. Well, no, like the no, like the no the no. Actually, I can see my screen. There's quite a bit of latency, but it's a thing. Huh. Oh, what? Retro, I'm going to turn my computer volume up just so I can check by myself if I can hear what's going on. I can check. Yep, and there it is. All right, so I can be heard, which is the main thing that I really was concerned about. All right. I guess we start with the games. I think I can down the rest of this in one gulp. If you have to ask that question before you hydrate, it's probably not a good question to ask. I said, do I think I can down the rest of this in one gulp? This is going to be a fun stream. Even if no one tunes in and no one watches it later down the line, I'm going to have fun going back to it. Oh, boy. Hello, friends in the stream. This is Streamception. 2 people are streaming right now, and they're talking to each other. I don't play Sonic games, so if that's what you're into, I wouldn't recommend you come over here, though. I'm gonna just warn you right now. You're coming over here because you think I also play Sonic games. Regret to inform you, I haven't played a Sonic game since Sonic Unleashed on the Wii. So... yeah, okay. In order, all of the Sonic games that I've ever played, I played Sonic Mega Collection Plus on the PlayStation 2. I had Shadow the Hedgehog on the PlayStation 2. I had Sonic Riders on the PlayStation 2. And then I had Sonic Unleashed on the Wii. I'm fairly certain that's the only Sonic games I've ever played. And most of them, because they were on the PlayStation 2, I was too young to understand a story, and my little ADHD child brain didn't have enough attention. I had a Nintendo 64. That thing was lit. Cause with the way the controllers would plug in, they had, like, I guess an adapter thing, I don't know, where you could, like, plug in, like, a dance pad, and then you could literally play Dance Dance Revolution in your room. Oh. Yeah, that's another good one. Well, back then, we weren't really that good at designing anything in the gaming world, unless it was a computer, and those weren't really meant for games back then. They were bulky. That's what that's... Yeah. Yeah. So I wanna say this, like, well, because the N64 came out before PlayStation and Xbox, right? Yeah. So what probably ended up happening? PlayStation probably went with a sleek design that's easy to fit into your hands. Nintendo wanted to go with a fancy design that's like umami wow every time you look at it. And then Xbox tried to cop off of PlayStation, and then it just turned out bulky when they tried to make it original. Xbox tried to copy their friends' homework, and then change it up slightly so it didn't look like they copied. Oh yeah, if you don't know how to hold a GameCube controller, yeah. 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 So I never had a Wii U. I only ever had the Wii, and I'm mad that I got rid of it. You could not keep me out of Wii Sport Resort. Mm. Yep. Ooh. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I was also the Dreamcast. Yeah. So I think with the Dreamcast, it was like their software was like just kind of outdated. Like it was old. So like if you tried to run a, let's say, Sonic Adventure 2 on the PlayStation, it ran perfectly fine. But then you try to get to the Dreamcast, and it's buggy, it's slow. I think if I'm remembering my history correctly, that's how that went. I'm just saying, for example, I don't know what games were out back then, and that was before my time. All right, I was probably still in my mama's womb when all that shit was happening. Yeah, Sega had lost its reputation as a console maker with the Dreamcast. So when they launched the new thing, it's like, why are we gonna buy it? We know it's shit. Yeah. 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 Also, I should probably mention, retro. I own two shot glasses. One of them has been outside since July. So I'm not touching that thing until I drown it in bleach. My second one I haven't seen since July. So every time I decide to hydrate with my spicy water made by Jack, it's a swig straight from the bottle. There is no measurement. It is just a straight swig. Oh, this is gonna be a great stream. Okay. So they only sold 9 million copies, but let's put it into perspective. This is... Right, but here's my question. This is what? Late 90s, early 2000s? Is that this whole era? Okay. So let's be fair. Let's be fair and think late 90s. How many kids are actually buying a console? Because they said they only sold 9,000. Let's put it in perspective. Let's put it into perspective. Is 9,000 a low number or a decent number for that time period? Yeah. So they sold 10%. Is that 10%? My math might be terribly wrong when I say that. They sold 10% of the market. To be fair, that is not a great ratio. It's not. But at least you're on the market in the double digits. You have room for improvement. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Here's a question, just for shits and giggles and fun. It was probably a fun question for your stream as well. What was the first console that you owned? I don't mean hand-me-downs from parents or siblings. The first console that you, like, this was your console. Yeah. 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 Ah. Aside from the Nintendo DS, which you couldn't tear out of my hand, especially if I was playing Guitar Hero, uh, PlayStation 2 and the Nintendo 64 were hand-me-downs. Those were my brothers. The first console that was really, really mine was probably the Wii. Was probably the Wii. Obviously, my parents bought it for both me and my older brother, but I was the one tearing shit up on the Wii. You couldn't keep me off Mii Sports Resort. I was a menace in swordplay. Yeah. Bro, there was one point I tried to be like a little fucking samurai. I tried to do like a 360 slash, and then the fucking sensor bar lost where my controller was. I remember all three game modes too. There was the duel that you did on the water platform. There was like whatever little adventure mode where you like actually walked around the island just clapping motherfuckers. And then there was the one where you had to like cut like pieces of art and like sushi and other shit with, but you had to do it like at a certain angle. I remember all 3 game modes for that fucking swordplay setup in Esports Resort. That was a menace. Okay, I didn't mind the basketball one. The only thing that irritated me with it is that by the time you actually got 3 and you got to like maybe have an open shot, by the time the camera switches for you to take the shot, the defender's back in front of you. What was another good one? Oh, the plane one. The plane one was pretty fun in Esports Resort. Bowling is always good. Another fun one from Esports Resort. Oh, what is it, like waveboarding? Where like you're connected to the boat and you have to... Yeah, you're like connected to the boat and you have to like ride the waves off the boat and do stunts and stuff. Yeah, that was a pretty fun trip. Hello, Angel. What do you mean? Oh, you texted me. That's my bad. Okay. Okay, let me explain. Before you get mad at me, let me explain. I've been setting up my stream and talking to Retro in his stream the entire time. He wasn't really helping me. Yeah, he was trying to tell me I should get a capture card because, you know, I'm a broke boy. Yeah. No, so like I'm streaming right now, and I've technically been streaming for the last 25 minutes. 0 people are watching, probably because I have 13 subscribers and no one knows who I exist. But if anything, this is a fun little experiment. I'm pressing different buttons, finding different options as I go. It will get progressively better with time. If I do it next, I don't know if I'm going to be like Retro and do it every single Friday, because that is a lot of spicy water made by Jack, and that's expensive after a while. And I don't know if you live in the American economy, we don't have a lot of money to spare. I'm talking to my 0 viewers in my stream, okay? Leave me alone. Yes. Okay. Well, you're in my phone and you're in my headphones, so the stream can't hear you. Try again on Sunday. I don't know. Also, you know how Spicy Water Jack has like that ridge at the bottom, like that's what gives it its shape, right? The previous bottle that I was using, was it last Saturday with you? There was only enough to fill up that bottom ridge, and I told myself before I started the stream that I wanted to finish that off before I started streaming. I'm scared to continue. I'm only halfway down the ridge, and I can already kind of feel myself tingling a little bit. I promise I'm not a lightweight, but it's just been a minute. It also doesn't help that I'm taking swigs instead of shots. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna. Alright, Retro, pick a number between 1 and 10. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kid-friendly trivia questions. Let's see if I can answer one and avoid taking another shot before I start gaming. Okay, without reading the answer, what was the first toy to be advertised on television? What the? That is a trivia question. What was the first toy to be advertised on television? I don't know. No, Barbie I feel like is recent. I want to say like maybe like I want to say like toy trains or like Lincoln Logs or something because I feel like those are ancient. Alright. So the answer to that question from earlier is Mr. Potato Head. I'm completely wrong, which means I'm taking a third shot now. Also, this is Spicy Water Honey by Jack. So this is a little bit different than what I'm used to. I've never tried this one. Yes, we're having streamception right now. Yeah, where's your VTuber wife? Where's she at? Okay. And Angel, by the way, I'm following the same rules as last time, where every time I take damage, it's a shot. So this is gonna end very poorly, very quickly.
Go to hell. It's over. Go to hell. It's over.
I'll be fine. And I took damage. Could not have timed that one better. Yes. I will stay on call tonight provided I don't forget that my phone is on 8%. No. Well, if you're gonna be, well, yeah, you're gonna be down. If you're gonna have to do the trivia question part of this thing on my own.
You will report. Go to hell. It's over. Done. Weak. You're finished.
Wow. starting to get the burps. I'm starting to get the burps. It's starting to settle in. I will be fine. I'm only like 5 shots. Hey, fucking get you and your fucking lady friend to move into the stream on separate accounts. I'm confused. Yeah, why are you racist towards the color blue? What's that all about, huh?
Go to hell. It's over. Have you decided which one of you will die first?
Color it. And that's damage. Alright, another shot. I accidentally hit my controller. How many shots is that? That's 6 shots and I'm still on mission 1? Well, I took like 3. I took like 2 or 3 just to kill the previous bottle, and I've taken 2 now. So I'm on like 4 or 5. And there's damage because I didn't realize I couldn't jump out of there. I'm just gonna take a... I'm gonna kill my chaser that's like halfway full. Mm-hmm. I said I took like 2 or 3 just to kill the previous bottle. And I took 2 more in mission 1. I took more damage, but I literally just got done taking a shot, so I said, you know what, I'll kill my chaser. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't recommend it. There aren't many people who can match a military person's drinking ability, let me tell you. The amount of shit I've drinking in one night is actually probably close to fucking alcohol poisoning. No, I do not. I will admit you were definitely mixing your alcohol. However, I have to question whether or not it was that high enough, percentage involved. Because military people, we drink in all these. And there's more damage. Alright, well, I can't kill another chaser again. I was not taking this much damage the last time I was fucking doing this game. I don't like it. No, because remember last time I was actually doing kinda alright. Now this time I'm like already a bunch of shots and the game just started.
Let's have some fun.
I am the one, don't wait, yes, I don't need no God to begin with. Also, Retro's chat, I'm already like 4 or 5 shots deep and a chaser down, so if I get a little rowdy over there, don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. No, chaser. Chaser. I'm a chaser down. Do you not know what a chaser is, Angel? Do you not know what a chaser is? Angel, do you not know what a chaser is? Okay. Let's say, for example, you have like a bottle of Crown, right? Obviously, you know the Crown, it's actually kind of hard. You know, it's probably going to burn your throat a little bit, right? Your chaser is going to be your wine cooler or your beer. It's something really soft that you can down really easy to wash away that roughness of whatever the hard stuff is. So literally you would like take your shot of whatever and then immediately grab your chaser and wash it down. That is the concept of a chaser. Alright, we're going into mission 2, which means I require yet another trivia question. Retro, or actually Angel, since you're here. Pick a number between 1 and 9. I say pick a number between 1 and 9. That'll decide the category of trivia questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Geographical trivia. Alright. What is the name of the largest ocean? I want to say Pacific, because that's the ocean between America and like Asia. I know it's not the Indian Ocean. I know it's not the Atlantic. I don't think it's the Atlantic. I pray to God it's not the Atlantic. I'm fairly certain it's Pacific. The Pacific! I don't have to take another shot. Yay! I had a feeling, because like Atlantic is just between us and like Europe and Africa. I was about to say, if I got that wrong, my geography teacher in 9th grade would be so pissed with me. Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's been so many complaints recently about Nintendo, either products or their actions. So it's
Go to hell. It's over. And you decide which one of you will die first.
It's crazy how the more drunk I get, the more insane combos get. What is happening to me right now?
Now you go to hell. It's
Oh, and there's damage. Alright. It would be the fucking scissor bitches. Yeah. I mean, I can still just, like, do what I was doing earlier. It's just ask. And you to fucking pick a number, and then I find the trivia question. So... Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a week for me, which is why on Fridays, us in the working middle class get fucking drunk as fuck after work. Yes, sir. Ugh. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Technically not yet, I guess. You haven't, I guess, made the thing. That is true. When you do find the one, you find the one. And there's nothing quite. Or so I think.
That's that.
Eventually, hopefully, you know. Right, you mentioned Musicon, right? Musicon. Why not?
Go to hell. It's
You just don't want to let me
It's
I mean, as I said, we still have old Popcorn. That's the one that we've like has mostly been like big.
Go to hell. It's
Yeah. That's the one that I've heard like what Retro and Fortnite are all trying to get to, and that's more damage, so that's another shot. I mean, my big concern. When is Otakon again, Retro? August, right. Yeah. So, my big concern with Otakon, is next year I'm supposed to be going to college for my apprenticeship program. So if it ends up running into the summer, I won't be able to go to Otakon. That's been my big concern with like any cons in the next year, is that I'm supposed to be going to college because it's a part of my apprenticeship program. They've already got me lined up for like the beginning of the year, like January, February, the winter semesters. Retro, I know you're talking to your stream, but you're very fucking loud. Yes, go ahead, Angel. Just going to the school and come back out. It's a community college. They don't actually have a door. What, you're worried I'm gonna get involved in some frat parties? Please, I'd fuck all these college pussies up. Excuse me, YouTube. I don't actually humbly apologize. I have this in how do I want to say this word? Unnatural ability that comes with being born around 2002, which is the ability to not give a flippin' fire truck. I don't know if you've noticed that, but a lot of people born around my generation don't fucking care. Like, we lost our graduation in 2020. We lost this, that, and the third because of politics and, you know, the rising inflation rate. We lack the ability to care. And, quite frankly, I'm not mad about it.
Go to hell. It's over.
No. We lost our senior trip. We actually didn't get to vote on it. Yeah, we lost prom. We lost our actual graduation. We actually didn't even get to vote for our yearbook and like its style. It was just selected for us. Oh, and that was the other thing that pissed me off. So I went to the military, I want to say like 3-4 months after graduation officially happened, because I had already turned 18. I turned 18 in April. So I was already gone off to basic and stuff like 3 or 4 months after I graduated. Uh-huh. Okay. On the topic of that though, like my school offered, because COVID calmed down in Michigan, to do a redo of prom. And because I was off in basic training, I couldn't go to it. But I did end up throwing my own graduation party. And you know what? Enough people showed up. Not many people showed up, but the people that I feel like I wanted to show up did. Yeah. I mean, I would enjoy that. Actually, I think I would have enjoyed the, like, redo prom that we got at my school if more people showed up. Most people didn't show up to the redo prom because they already had their diploma. What the fuck do they need to go to prom? So... Huh. So, I don't even remember what our prom theme was. I think it was under. I think I remember a bunch of times it was like really, like really confusing.
Now you recognize silence. Have you decided which one of you will die first?
Yeah. So I wouldn't have been able to do anything fancy back in the day because I personally only owned a black suit, which I only owned because I had to go to a funeral. That's the mafia suit that you've seen in previous pictures. Um, the only other suits are like, I guess, fancy clothes that I own are anything that fits me that's in my dad's wardrobe. So I don't have my own personal. Oh, and okay, I don't actually personally own my own fancy wardrobe. Okay. If that's what you want to call it, go ahead, be my guest. You're gonna give me the jump on the pole. Here's the throw. Yeah, retro, fucking cool. You fucking spit your game, homie. I know you got it in you. Yeah, where's your W aura? He's trying to talk to his stream. He's trying to take his away for the couple of seconds. But he's trying to acknowledge his stream. Retro has Skibbity Riz. Retro has Skibbity Riz. He's talking to VTubers. And he jumps on Identity Z and gets the Descendant's goat. Actually, here's a valid question. Here's a very valid question. Retro, before he started streaming, was the quiet. But now, since he's a streamer, does he still have the quiet kid title? And if you don't know what being the quiet kid means, grow up. Go back to high school. You missed out on a lot.
Go to hell.
Right, like... You don't know what a quiet kid is? So, aside from, you know, school shooter vibes, no, aside from, there's two types of quiet kids. There's maybe more than that, but for this example, there's two types of quiet kids. There's the school shooter quiet kid, who shows up one day at school with black forces. Yeah, with black forces, yeah! And then there's the quiet kid, who, let's say, you know, the cheerleader or hot girl gives a try, and the next day at school shows up in a wheelchair. Because she's lost her inability to walk because of his, pelvic abilities. I was about to say, I was definitely the quiet kid. I didn't give a fuck. No, what happened? In ninth... No, not ninth grade. Yeah, in ninth grade. This pissed me off to unimaginable degrees. This pissed me off. So in ninth grade, the girl I was dating at the time was at a different school. And I had multiple females ask me if I was single. More, I assumed at the time, more because of how quiet and I guess timid I am. But also, this is around the time where, like, you know, some kids have already, you know, dabbled in that stuff by, like, middle school. So I assumed they were asking it just, you know, because they were curious. I didn't think anything. Come to find out, like, 6 different females that inevitably ended up asking that question admitted by, like, the end of the school year, yeah, if you were single, you would not be a virgin. I was so hot and mad. I was so angry about that shit, bro. And that's where, Angel, if you've ever heard the joke 5 years, that's where that joke originated from. Because I had dated a girl for 5 years. Granted, the first 2 years were in middle school, so let's at least give me that grace period. That I didn't have to do anything just because I had a girlfriend. But the option was obviously there. But I dated a girl for 5 years, didn't get anything, not nada. That's where the 5 years joke comes from. Retro definitely remembers that joke because he was in the call when I fucking screamed, vented about that shit. You remember the girl who was made about it. She used to be in the server. Not anymore though, because she was a character. I'll say that and only that out of respect for one time, and the fact that she's not presently here to defend herself against the situation. Indeed it is, it's in the past, and I've moved on from that. I'm a big boy now, I've changed a lot, I've been to the military a lot. A lot has changed since that time period, and more importantly, I'm using it as a learning experience. I don't think, I honestly, truthfully, at the end of the day, don't think either of us did anything in particular wrong. I just think we could have did things. Go to hell. As you are when you're in, you know, middle school and high school, and that's damage. As you are in middle school and high school, making a lot of decisions while your body is also making decisions for you. Yeah, I know your body doesn't make decisions. Get that, okay? You hit puberty, you just didn't have any of the side effects of it, alright? Fucking lucky son of a bitch. I know all the females are lamenting you right now. Yep. Excuse me, everybody. All of this, spicy water is making me have to go to the bathroom. I shall return momentarily. I have returned, ladies and gentlefish. So, before I get back into my game, Retro's chat, Angel, I had an epiphany while I was sitting on the toilet. One, that my liquid was clear, which means it's like basically 100% alcohol at this point. Two is that I set my stream to be not made for kids, which means if there are any children in this chat, YouTube algorithm has failed them terribly, which means aside from, demonetization, I don't really give a fuck. And I don't have to worry about demonetization because I don't make money off of YouTube no way. I am immune. That is a great question that I can. Of course you have people watching you, Retro. You're actually famous.
You think you stand a chance?
How many people do you have in your stream? 233 people? I have 0. Go suck my dick. Go suck my dick. Retro bragging about his 237 viewers. Meanwhile, I'm over here struggling as a YouTuber. Oh, must be nice. I have 13 and I can name 6 of them. Eat a dick, Retro. Eat a dick. Please and thank you. Okay. Alright, Retro, it's your turn. Pick a number between 1 and 8. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip that one, skip that one. 7. Science trivia. Hello. Which of the planets in our solar system is the hottest? I'm gonna say Mercury because it's the closest to the sun. I'm wrong, it's Venus. Alright. Why the fuck is Venus? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna double check this trivia website. Because I don't believe that for a second. What is the hottest planet? Venus. How the fuck is it Venus? Although Venus is the second planet from the sun, Venus is the hottest planet. The reason Venus is hotter than Mercury is not because of its position, so it's because it is thicker and has a denser cloud layer. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Did my goddamn Discord crash on my headphones? It did. So apparently Discord is just gonna crash on my phone and not tell me about it. Okay, that's fine. I got the question wrong. I said Mercury is the hottest planet in the solar system. It's actually Venus, and that's because Venus is thicker with 2 C's than Mercury and has a denser cloud layer, so it retains more heat than Mercury. Another shot on the way. Oh, feel the burn. Imagine showing up to the gym drunk. No, like genuinely honest scenario, right? obviously you're drunk, you lack fine motor control as it is, right? But you have drunk strength. You can probably hit your highest PR that you've ever hit in your life. Because, like, I've never really personally, you know, done much when I was drunk. I was more or less just sitting there cracking jokes when I was drunk in the past. But I've heard, like, you have, like, less sensation, which means you have less sensation to pain and restrictions, which would mean you can put more power into that barbell as you're doing that bench press and not even realize it because you're drunk off your ass. I would never do it because I don't want to show up to a public drunk. But it's an interesting experiment. Are you stronger drunk than you are sober? I don't mean coordinated because obviously that's a test in on its own, hence, sobriety test. But just raw power, raw muscle. Yeah, you told me about that. I am severely disappointed in you. You're the best cashier regardless. It's just because the other people suck.
Go to hell. It's over.
Honestly, truthfully, being drunk and getting high at the same time just reminds me of that one Drake song. How you do this Oh yeah, you told me about that story as well. And Retro didn't even know it, and I took more damage. Alright, we are having a really fun stream tonight.
Go to hell. It's over.
I will say this though. I'm waiting for Retro because Retro needs to hear this information. I already told you this information last time. I'm more talkative when I'm drunk. Usually, Retro, you can probably attest to this. I'm usually kind of quiet, usually kind of passive. I only jump in on certain opportunities. I don't really talk that much in chat, right? Retro, can you attest to that? No. Like, let's say this is a random Wednesday. I'm usually not in chat, and if I am, I only chime in for, like, the opportune joke, right? Alright. So, when I'm drunk, I can't stop talking. That's my problem. Because I'm so used to restricting myself from talking on a day-to-day basis. When I'm drunk, that restriction is gone. I can't stop talking. I think almost every time I've been drunk, I've had someone warn me that I'm oversharing. But that's because I'm so used to never talking. I never talk on, like, a regular day-to-day basis with random people. Even, like, with the people in the server, they only know, like, bits and pieces of my life, and unless you've been here for, like, forever, like, you, Retro, or Anne or something, you know nothing about me. You know absolutely nothing about me. Okay, you're a recent addition. You got to learn more information than you probably should in the short amount of time you've been here. But like Jamari, he came in kind of late to the high school life, but he got some of the information just like getting updated by like Retro or Ann, maybe Sages back in the day. Um, Courtney, she's been around. Fucking who else? Iman. Retro, who's been a long back? Retro, who's been around for a long time? You got Ann, you, Courtney, Sages. I don't want to talk about Sages, but like, that's my boy. Okay, the only reason I say that's my boy is because when I was in Texas. Okay, I wasn't here during the whole scandal. I wasn't here when the whole debate had. I wasn't here. I wasn't here during the allegations. I only got the backlog of after he had already got kicked. I only got like Ann's and like everyone else's perspective, and then like 6 months later got his perspective. So like it's not fair for me to judge on those principles alone. Because usually I get your perspective, and then I immediately get his perspective. I got your guys' perspective in so much like disparity between his. It's not fair for me to judge. I barely remember yours because it's been like 6, 7 months. But I was in Texas for the military. He was in Texas because he lives there. He's literally the only person I've known for like years plus. That's the guy I hang out with to get drunk with. Simple as that. Honest and truth. Alright. Right, like. Okay. I don't even remember all of that. I'm too drunk to remember all of that. Uh, okay. So, let's, let's, let's skip all the bullshit, right? Let's get to a topic that I've been discussing recently with my coworkers at work. It's called separating the artist from his music. A perfect example of this is R. Kelly. Let's take R. Kelly. We know what he did. We know what he did was wrong. Correct? Let's rewind 5 or 10 years. We were all bumping Ignition in the club, were we not? the 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 song Ignition hasn't changed a damn. It's still the exact same lyrics. We know something about the artist we didn't know, but the song is exactly the same. Is the song worse because of what the artist did? Or is the artist worse because of what the artist did? I know. And here's my argument to that. Again, I grew up in. I know it hits different, and that's the point I'm getting to, Retro. I could care fucking less. If he didn't do it to me, it has nothing to do with my day-to-day life. I really don't care. I'm not getting into the drama that happens on X or Twitter or whatever you call it these days. My point exactly is that yeah. Yeah, it's still Twitter. My point being is that now that we have the context to R. Kelly, we can add context to the song. For instance, I love to make the joke now that any R. Kelly song comes up is like, I wonder if he made this song thinking about a child. And you know what? It makes the situation a little bit funnier, but it also makes the song a little bit better. And I don't care that the song is written by R. Fun Kelly. I care that the song is a fucking bop at the end of the day. So, I still listen to it. It's still in my playlist. I don't care who made it. I care that it's a bop that I can bob my head to. Maybe get a little freaky deek in the hips. You know what I'm saying? Another example, Diddy. P. Diddy dropped some amazing hits in his time. The songs are still the amazing hits that they were that broke charts. It's just that Diddy liked to throw a lot of parties. And they weren't the most PG-13 or baby oilless parties that we thought that they were. So, I still listen to his music. I've never personally followed the person. So the fact that he did all this bullshit, it has nothing to do with me.
Go to hell. It's over. Now go to hell. It's over.
And what was I gonna say? On the topic of this, like, Chris Brown and Drake. Chris Brown and Drake have their own individual drama. Drake being baby mamas, and yeah, Drake his drama is baby mamas, and I think anyways. Chris Brown's drama is beating Rihanna. But here's the thing. I didn't learn that he beat Rihanna until like 7 years after it happened. And that's just a perfect example of like not following the artist and his day-to-day life and just listening to his music whenever he decides to drop it. I give two fucks what the Chris Brown or Drake or J. Cole or Kendrick does in their day-to-day life. That doesn't concern me. That's like some 1% living life compared to my middle class living life. Has nothing to do with me. But I like the music they drop. I like that I can bump it at high volumes in my headphones. Cool. Has nothing to do with my day-to-day life. What he does at the club on a Saturday at 7:30 at night. I don't fuck what he does. Like, yeah, like let's let's say for example, everyone in middle school or high school art class has seen Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night. At any point in time, if you've taken an art class in middle school or high school, you've seen Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night. Correct? Retro? if we were to find out, like 60 years later at this point, because Vincent Van Gogh's been dead for that long, if we were to find out Vincent Van Gogh was a playboy that just railed women left and right, would that change his art piece? We might not share it in schools as much, but it's still an amazing art piece. Right? Again, another perfect example of art versus the artist. I can give two fucks what the artist has done. It's an amazing piece of work that if you try to replicate, it's copyright. And even if you try to replicate, it's going to be different because you're not him. With all due respect, you're not him. Yeah, do those milk and eggs. Think about it like something else. Do those milk and eggs. For any of you in chat very confused about that comment, there's someone in Discord who's working currently, like at, was it Fresh Market or is it the other one today? It's Fresh Market. They're working at Fresh Market, and their manager just told them, "Hey, you know they buy eggs and milk in the morning, so make sure you stock those eggs and milk." So yeah, make sure you stock those eggs and milk. I've never worked in retail, but still at the end of the day, I have the highest respect for retail because I know what y'all go through on a day-to-day basis. I feel like if you have never worked a job that requires you to be good at dealing with the stupidity of the public, retail is a great start. Because let's think, for example, if you go to the let's say you go to your local Walmart, you go to your local Walgreens, wherever you shop, you know you've had to act. You know you've had to ask the person stocking the aisle some dumbass question. You know you've had to ask the cashier some dumbass question. You know you've commented to the manager at some point. You know you've done all these things. So imagine it from the worker's perspective. Where you have to, unfortunately, because it's a part of your position, bear with these comments. You can't even be rude to the motherfuckers who give you these comments. Like, Retro, have you ever walked into like a Walmart or a Meijer or wherever you shop and you know you are about to ask a dumbass question, but you have to ask it because you're lost? You know what? Fair, because I'm the exact same way. But you know people, like maybe your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, who have unfortunately had to ask some kind of dumbass question. Yep, 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 yep. That example right there is why I have the utmost respect for retail workers. Because I know the bullshit they go through on a day-to-day basis, and they aren't even allowed to be rude in response, despite the burning urge to be rude. Like the funniest example of this, it was someone walking in to like a Tim Hortons, which is like a donut and coffee shop, They walked in and asked, "Hey, do you have donuts?" The cashier literally turned around, looked at the rack of donuts behind them, and was like, "No, we don't sell fucking donuts." But in the same breath, when you think about it, that worker was probably fired within a week because of that video. Like, that worker was probably fired within a week because of that video, because you're not allowed to be rude to the customer, even though it's a stupidly dumbass question. That's why I have the utmost respect for you retail workers putting up with this bullshit on a day-to-day basis, dog. That's why I have the utmost respect for y'all. That is another swig down the drain. Followed up by the chaser, because it burns. Alright. I'm going to do something that I'm probably going to regret. I've been doing a lot of drinking, my tongue is getting inflammatory. I've been doing a lot of drinking sitting down. I'm going to try to stand up. Standing up isn't the worst thing. Walking isn't the worst thing. I can feel myself teetering and tottering to the left and to the right. But it's not terrible.
Go to hell. It's over. Go to hell. It's over.
You have to do it because you're the most reliable person there, and trust me, it is a burden that all of us reliable people have to bear, unfortunately. I know, being the reliable one sucks. So, me personally, I'm technically, since I'm a part of the apprenticeship shit, I'm the most inexperienced in the group, technically. But if you put me next to any motherfucker in that building, they look like absolute dog water. So, it's one of those moments where they have to recognize my position and where I am in the company. But if they had the option, they would literally use me for everything. And honestly, truthfully, I'm one of those motherfuckers that's like, you know what, I'm with you. You like me because I'm reliable? Fuck it. Give me every job you won't give them. That way I can brag about it in a week's time. And not give a fuck, because I don't care about public opinion.
Go to hell.
I've been a lot of it. Bad problems. One bad problem. Dude, I'm about to die. I don't want to die. That's bad.
Go to hell. It's over.
For that section, I'll take like 2 or 3. Oh. Retro. Do you want to see a? I want to say at least a half decent. I won't say good. I'll say half decent anime that describes the console wars. Hyperdimension Neptunia. Oh yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I love how meta it is. I love that it just straight out calls out our world. Like low Wii being the Wii, lean box being Xbox. What's the other one? Fucking Last Station, PlayStation. And then was it Neptunia is supposed to be what, the Dreamcast? Or am I thinking of one of the extended games? But no, it perfectly describes the console wars, and I love it. I love it. It's so meta, and the fact that the main character is like Deadpool and actually talks to the audience is fucking crazy to me, honestly. Oh yeah, she does it like it's nothing. Like Deadpool will at least like look at the camera or like kinda half bakedly acknowledge us. Like every other line with the hyperdimension Ectunia is like a fucking fourth wall break. But it's only through that character. None of the other characters fourth wall break. They might make a meta joke, but they don't fourth wall break. It's so well written. I love it. I hate that it's an MMO though, because I hate grinding. And I've only recently realized this because of Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Yeah. So Hyperdimension Neptunia has like all of its spinny offs. I'm drunk off my ass. Hyperdimension Neptunia has all of its many spin-offs, such as like Re Hyperdimension Neptunia, and like 1, 2, and 3, and Re 1, 2, and 3, all those versions of it. But it's essentially the same game, just with a different wallpaper on it. Call of Duty. Um. If no one else was gonna say it, I had to. Uh, but I think in one version of the game, like they like revived the Dreamcast or something. I can't remember which one it was. I'd have to go look at the YouTuber who uploaded it to remember. Um, yeah, it's a good game, and I really enjoy its concept. Right, that's what I was getting to before. Yeah, I was about to say that's right. So I forgot. That's what I was getting to with this drunken tangent. I can't stand MMOs and Genshin Impact and I want to say Honkai Star Rail, the first real MMOs I've played in like recent history, and I don't know RPGs. Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that too. The one thing I can't stand about them is the fact that I have to repeat like the same missions dozens of times to get the materials that I need to level up so that I can beat this next main quest. I could give two absolute fucks about the grind. I want to see what this story is. I want to know what the story is. That's why I stopped playing Genshin. That's why I stopped playing Honkai Star Rail. Because it got so grindy after a certain point that I was like taking like weeks and weeks to get to the next actual story element. And I hate that shit. I hate that shit. Like it's one. Yeah, other RPG games are grindy, But it's literally for like your next 2 level ups and maybe a good item drop. That's it. You don't even really need the item drop, but if you get a good one, you know what? I'm equip it. Your main thing is getting skill points in your level up tree. That's the main thing you're grinding for. But these gacha games, they ruined it for me. I hate grinding. I hate it so much. Because you're grinding, one, for XP points. Two, you're grinding for the materials to do these randomized draws. And three, with these randomized draws, you're hoping to get a 5 tier. Which is only like, what, like a 5% chance of getting? Depending on the gacha? Oh, hell no! I don't know about you, but I have really terrible luck. I'll be grinding for that 5-star for like the next 5 years. Yeah, I remember. I remember. I remember. Um, no, what was it? It was so Genshin, you get like your, was it Traveler, and you get all your other party members throughout the game. You get Amber by default. You get a couple of other people for like trials, and then like rest of it is whoever you draw. By default, it's usually Noelle and like whoever else. In Genshin, I was using the Traveler because it's your base character. Your I don't know if you know this about RPGs or whatever games you play. Your spawn character, your Traveler or whatever, is surprisingly overpowered if you learn how to use them. Star Rail is another perfect example of that. You get your actual character, who is the destructive path. You get your March 7th, who is Ice Path, and you get what's his fucking name with the spear? Dunhog, who is Wind Path. You've already covered 3 of the bases in terms of like I don't want to say ethnicity, weaknesses and strengths and perks. I'm getting a phone call. I have to decline that call because I'm streaming. And that means I have to reset my headphones. Right. Mhm. What part was I at? I was at Dung Hung Ming Wind Path and how that covers like multiple bases in terms of like weaknesses to your enemies. You've got 3 of the bases covered, and then depending on your draw, you're gonna get the one girl with like the briefcase, and she can like harm multiple enemies, and she's got AOE. Yeah, but she also has like the special that like calls in a satellite orbital fucking barrage. Yeah, you've got fire, wind, ice, and you've got destruction. You've already got 4 different weaknesses covered. And mind you, once you get to the one planet, which is like majority of the story for a while, that's like all of the weaknesses. Bellabog, that's all of the weaknesses covered. with the base characters you're designed to have. You don't have to do draws, you don't have to do shit. You have the base characters you need. Right. The main thing was grinding for relics and XP points. That's it. You weren't grinding for characters so much as you were for having the character just to have the character. And maybe whatever their special is because it suits your lineup. But I was using the base characters and I didn't give a fuck about it. Motherfuckers would hear that about Genshin or Star Rail or whatever and be like, oh, use the base characters? You don't use any of the draw characters or like any of their, perks and abilities? And I'm like, no. No, because I have terrible luck. Yeah. And that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a test of luck to see if you can speed run the game. And honest and truthfully, from a story perspective, if you're talking a story's perspective, running March 7th done upon and your main character and whoever else is pertinent to the story at that time just makes sense. Because they're actually the ones in the cutscenes, they're actually the ones doing all of the activities and all that other stuff. It only makes sense from a story perspective to run those characters. As trash as they might be compared to another character, it's what makes sense. From a linear story perspective. Like, let's take Call of Duty. I acknowledged Call of Duty earlier. Let's take you have your multiplayer, which is obvious. You have your zombies, which is your co-op. And you have your campaign. In your campaign, you might swap one or two characters, but they're all pertinent to the story in some way, shape, or form. You're not swapping for this random motherfucker you met in an IT meeting in chapter 32 of 40. And I think that's what I enjoy about this game. Because it is so rememberable. So many memories. Like, I'm sure anyone who played Black Ops 1 remembers escaping Vorkuta. If you've ever played Black Ops 1, you'll remember escaping Vorkuta. Because that was the mission when you got bored and you just went back and played because it was so intense, but also so emotionally and character driven that it just resonated with you. Retro, you said you haven't played that game in a while, right? I guarantee you I give you one detail and you remember the mission like it was yesterday. You remember one mission? Which one is it? You were in a car? You said you were in a car, Retro? That was probably the opening mission, which is gonna be memorable in and on its own right. But Vorkuta, Exactly, that's what Vorkuta is. Vorkuta is the name of the prison that you're in, and you're escaping Vorkuta. The fact that he hasn't played Black Ops 1 campaign in years, and he remembers the opening mission with the car scene where you're running from the police, and he remembers Vorkuta escaping the prison, says so fucking much about a campaign that came out in, what, 2006? That says so much about the story and the development of how that shit went down back in the day. I remember almost each of the individual steps in escaping Vorkuta. Step 1 was secure the keys. Step 2, ascend from darkness. I can't remember if this is step 3 or step 4, but it was rain fire. I think it was step 5 by that logic, skewer the winged beast, which was taking down the helicopter. Step 6 was, I forget what step 6 and what step 7 was, but I remember step 8, which was wield the fist of iron, which is where you get the minigun and you just tear shit up. And then step 8 was freedom, which would make step 7 wield the fist of iron. Step 8 is freedom. It's crazy that after like 15 years, I can remember most of the developmental steps for fucking escaping Vorkuta. Instead of taking another shot, I'm going to kill this chaser. Retro, do you remember Black Ops 2? Well, I was about to say, what's your most memorable moment from Black Ops 2? And that's not to say Black Ops 2 was a bad campaign, that he can't remember much. But Black Ops 2 has to follow up Black Ops 1. Probably the most memorable plot point of Black Ops 2 is the conflict between Raul Menendez and essentially the Mason family. Because he had beef with Alex Mason and David Mason. He was out for both of them niggas. And Frank Woods. He was out for both of them. But honestly and truthfully, their most memorable plot point at all in general is just whatever Menendez did. Anytime Menendez did anything in Black Ops 2, it was so big and so dramatic, it trumped everything else around it. You can fly. So you could be thinking of 2 different missions, as far as my memory could serve while it's drunk. That's an option. Right, you're thinking of Suffer With Me. Okay, so you're not being a spy, you're reconning. The objective for Suffer With Me was, we're gonna tag and bag Raul Menendez because of who he is. Unfortunately, whoever's supposed to be tagging and bagging his ass messes with his fucking sister, which he's very protective of. He starts fucking up motherfuckers left and right, and the person in charge of tagging and bagging him releases him. So now we've got this angry, overprotective motherfucker literally cutting through people with a machete, picking up guns off the ground, lighting motherfuckers up, and just carving his way through town to his sister. Meanwhile, in the background, you've got your main cast from the first game, Woods, Hudson, Mason, trying to, meet Menendez in the middle. And then Woods, being the fucking POW that he was, gets flashbacks to what Menendez did to him, spazzes the fuck out, throws a grenade, it gets tipped because we're not supposed to kill him, blows up, kills his sister, pisses him off, and that's what sets off the entire storyline for this entire game. What you're remembering more than likely is looking through a sniper scope at Menendez while he's in his bedroom with his sister. You're not actually remember being quote-unquote a spy in that scenario. You remember spying on Menendez. Because that's the mission we're supposed to tag and bag his ass. But it goes so fucked up that like 30 years later, Menendez is working on a plot to fuck everything up. And anyone in Retro's I'm drunk. Anyone in Retro's chat that has dabbled away from the world of Sonic that can comment on the world of Call of Duty, 1, respect, because you're multiversed. 2, you can also correct my drunken slander if I'm incorrect about anything. Yeah, you're thinking of Suffer With Me. You're thinking of Suffer With Me. Yep. Yeah, you're... Shoot. Oh, no! You're thinking of, not Cortes Dia, because that's the very last mission. You're thinking of the mission with Fareed. I'm sorry, Angel, that you're not included in this conversation. I'm so very sorry. This has just been me and Retro geeking out over Call of Duty campaigns. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. But you've got her and you've got us in the chat. Okay, first of all, Call of Duty is not a third-person shooter. If you're playing Call of Duty in the third person, you're doing it entirely wrong. It's usually in, like, DMZ and Warzone, but yeah, it's super weird. You're thinking of the mission with Fareed, where you're a spy, not even a spy. You're a not double agent. You're a covert operative. That's the term I'm looking for. You're a covert operative who has infiltrated Menendez's inner circle. And what you're thinking of when Menendez fires a rocket and shoots down a plane, you have the option to shoot Harper or shoot Menendez. And obviously everybody decided to shoot Menendez, but Menendez curls that shit, fires on you, and he hits you with one of the most diabolical lines ever heard probably in campaign history. To those you serve, your life means nothing, and then blows your fucking brains out on the fucking pavement. That's the mission you're thinking of. I remember that so vividly because he was so emotional and emphatic, because even Menendez trusted Fareed up until a certain extent. And then you tried to shoot Menendez, but because he suspected you, he curled that shit and fired on your ass. Harper survives, which apparently isn't even the good ending for the game. That shit pissed me off, that you have to shoot Harper for the good ending. Because I liked Harper. Harper was like the 2025 version of Woods. Like, sarcastic, kind of a dickhead, but still very supportive when you need him. That was the 2025 version of Woods, and I wasn't mad at how they developed his character. Even in the later mission where he might be dead, so he doesn't get that many dialogue options, I still loved the options that he got if you kept him alive. I loved that shit. Harper was my main man in fucking Black Ops 2. I genuinely vibed with that motherfucker as a 14-year-old. I have to pee again. I shall return to an age where I promise to read that chat once I get back. Okay. You want to know a sign that you might have hydrated a little too much in one night? When you go to the bathroom and the toilet bowl water does not change color. That means that your excretion is 100% clear. It's 100% alcohol. Everything that you just let out into that toilet bowl is alcohol. I gotta go to the vent chat to see what she said, but she gets a name check. Yeah. Who the fuck is this Andrew motherfucker? Is it okay to murder him? Murder is always murder is always an option so long as you don't get caught. YouTube, I don't care if you demonetize me again. You don't pay me anyways. Suck a dick. And I just fell into my chair. And what's crazy is I still need to take shots because of damage that I took. Ooh, baby. If only I had my residential bartender here with me, I wouldn't even be speaking right now. Retro, have you ever been blackout? Have you? You've never been? It's an experience, let me tell you. There was a whole, I don't want to say fist fight. There was a whole shove fest that happened 2 feet behind me, and I didn't notice it. Because I was fucking blackout drunk off my ass. I was like, you know how you could like sway in your chair, and after a certain point you feel gravity, so you stop going in that direction and go the other way? To certain people, it looked like I was about to fall out of my chair, because obviously I'm drunk and I don't recognize how far I'm leaning, but somehow magically, I would manage to lean back over to the other direction and do the exact same thing again. Like, I think one person described it as it looked like I was doing a 90-degree angle with the chair, and then leaning to the other side for another 90-degree angle. And I was drunk. I don't remember rocking in my chair like that. I got so drunk to the point, like, I can only remember bits and pieces of that night. And most of the bits and pieces I remember of that night was after they had kicked me out and I had gone home, which means I was no longer drinking, which means my body is slowly getting accustomed to the alcohol in its system, because it's not intaking anymore. And as fun as being blackout is, because your brain has no restrictors, it has no limiters, it is just doing whatever it thinks is going to be as fun as possible in that moment. You have so many moments that you wake up and you hear about that's like, oh, because all your restrictors are back in place now. I had woke up from being blackout drunk. I heard I tried talking up to different people, and they were just giggling because they knew I was drunk, and they knew they weren't about to lay with me because I was drunk. But I was still chatting them up like I was a fucking pimp. I heard stories about how I was listing off names. I said, I want this person, this person, this person. Call them, bring them to the room. I promise you I'm laying down pipe. I was that drunk. I was that level of drunk. I got so drunk and so frustrated with the people trying to make sure that I didn't fall and die that when I went to go take a shower, because I smelt like alcohol, and they kept checking on me to make sure I didn't fall over and pass out in the shower, that I walked out into the room butt-ass naked and said, y'all want to see some deep? That's how drunk I was. If there was one point in time in that story where I fell down, actually no, pause. There was one point in time in that story I don't remember falling down, but I remember standing back up. Being blackout drunk is literally a roller coaster because at the time, it was the funnest moment of your life. But when you wake up and you're sober, you're like, oh my god, why did I do that? That's so stupid of me. I would never if I was sober, but that's the point. Me? What? Retro? Okay, you can hear me? Okay, what was the question you asked? No, okay. Being blackout is different from passing out. Passing out is you just fucking die. Blackout is you don't remember what happened. Yeah, which is why I gave the example of I don't remember falling down on the ground, but I remember standing back up. I was blackout to the point I was remembering things in pieces, which made it that much more fun to remember. But once I got sober and I realized I was trying to chat up multiple different people, it was like, I gotta make phone calls. I gotta apologize for drunk me. Like, hey, I'm sorry for any actions that I did last night. That was not me. That was the alcohol talking. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Because drunk me didn't know what he was doing. He was just trying to have a good fucking time. And at the end of the day, like, no one can blame you. Like, we've all had those days where you're just, you know, and you're just trying to have a good fucking night. Unfortunately for me, my good night had to do with military people. So that means if any of them decides to file a complaint, that's my career. So I had to be a little extra precautious, but drunk me doesn't want to be precautious. Drunk me wants to have a good time. It's one of those scenarios where you can't fix because it's already happened because you're drunk. But you can try to at least apologize and pray to God for forgiveness. Because I know full and damn well, if I did any of the actions that I did while I was sober, and everyone knew I was sober, oh, that's a sexual harassment complaint. There might have been there might be an equal opportunity complaint in there. I knew because at the end of the day, I don't care. But I only don't care if I know you well enough, and I know you don't care either. If I'm drunk, I just don't care in general. Like, you've heard the racist jokes I make, Retro. That's only with a very specific crowd. That's with you, Jamari, Sages, and Angel. That's with a very minute crowd. When I'm drunk, those racist jokes fly at random. So if they wanted to hit me with any kind of complaints, they could. And I could say, hey, I was drunk, I wasn't in control. They're going to hit me with, you have to maintain your military bearing. Here's your Article 15, my good sir. And I'm a specialist too, so they really don't give a fuck about me. Oh, I only took one shot when I was supposed to take 3 once I got back from the bathroom. Here comes the other 2. You know what? I haven't done this in a while. Let's check the broadcast. Who's tuning in? 0 watching. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. That's what happens when you have 13 subscribers and you can name 6 of them. Actually, let me try to name who my fucking 6 are. I've got, I think, maybe 2 or 3 from the military. So we'll count 3 for now. Sages. One other person that I know. Who else do I know that subscribe? I'd probably have to look at the subscriber list, which I think I can do on my computer if I can manage to concentrate that much. No, after peeing, I feel, I guess, more sober, just less in control. Subscriptions? No, that's my subscriptions. I don't care about my subscription. No, I don't want to go to YouTube Music either. Hello for me. You. View channel. No, that's where I just was, and I still can't see my subscriber list. How do I see the people that are subscribed to me? Is it in my YouTube Creator Studio, maybe? Dashboard, contact, analytics. Yeah, I got it. Where do I see the names? I know I can see the names. Inspiration. That's a tab? What the fuck? Audience. Views on YouTube channels. Watch time. What your audience watches. Age, gender, format, top geographies. Yeah. That doesn't tell me who's subscribed to me. That's what I want to see. You said what? I am on my computer. Right, that's what I thought. Well, I can't remember what tab I clicked it on. You. It just shows all the stuff that I watched. View your channel. Live. That shows the live that I'm in right now. Playlist. I'm going to play this. Community. That shows not much, surprisingly. Right, because I don't upload anything in the community posts. Right, I need to go to Creator Studio. That's literally what you told me. I'm in my analytics. I see content, traffic source, geography, cities, view ratio, date, subscription status, maybe? I gained some subscribers in 2024, November. I gained it. What is that showing me? Is that showing my views and compared to subscribers? That doesn't help me. Right, because I'm looking at a graph. I don't need to look at a graph. I need to look at the individual names to see if I can name off the individuals. Funnily enough. Surprisingly, I've noticed shorts, which are just bowling shorts. Like, you wouldn't expect bowling shorts to get a whole lot of views, but my bowling shorts have been crashing the boards, like, every time I upload them. And that's what really makes me think that we have a lot of autistic people on YouTube these days, because they can only watch this short form content. Yeah, like I got 473 views in one day off of one short. So, right. So here's my issue with doing here's my issue with doing shorts. I have my everything is better with music, but it's blank playlist. That's my I upload a random game and I put a song behind it and it's now a gaming music video. Those used to pop the fuck off depending on the song and the game that is used. Then I got some bowling videos and I started uploading a compilation of those bowling videos with a song in the background because it's a short and I can edit it the way I want, etc., etc. Those popped off even better than the other ones that I just mentioned. I'm not mad at it. Any kind of publicity is good publicity. However, every time I upload one of those videos, it gets copyright stricken because it's a song. It's literally whatever song the Black Eyed Peas or NF or Eminem drop. It's literally a segment of that song. But here's the thing. Right. And here's the thing. I could really care less if I get a copyright, demonetization, whatever it is, because YouTube isn't paying me. You can take all my money from the video you want. I wasn't making money off the video to begin with. Technically, because I haven't reached the requirements that YouTube requires, I'm not even allowed to apply to receive money from YouTube. Like YouTube requires, what is it? Either like 500 subscribers or 1,000 views in like a month. It's like a 30-day period, or that. I don't know about a year. I think it's like a 30-day period. The last time I looked at it, or there's a substitute for the other one, or you have this many subscribers, but you have a lot of viewers. Doesn't matter what their watch time is, whatever you're doing with your thumbnail, your title, or whatever, it's working, and it's at least getting people clicking. 500 viewers. 30-day period, yeah, and that's enough to apply. I aside from the watch yeah, aside from the watch hours, because people tuning into like my shorts and stuff as of recently with the bowling stuff, I'm nowhere even close to being a not even that. I'm not even close to being able to apply for, hey, YouTube, I'm making the numbers you want. Can I get some cash? Yeah, okay. I mentioned this earlier. Do you know why I originally started my channel, Retro? What is it? kind of. On the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, obviously we have the Xbox Record That meme, right? I was a part of that meme. I hit Xbox Record That on any sick moment, any funny moment, whatsoever, right? Eventually, though, my Xbox storage got full, and I noticed once I went into the Xbox thing to look at old clips, some of them were gone. So I was like, fuck, I don't want to keep recording new moments and forget about the old moments, because they're gone now. But I don't want to miss out on the new moments, because I'm scared of missing the old moments. But the Xbox One had an amazing feature. It had the Creator Studio. What I could do is I could take a bunch of these clips, put them into a little 5-minute compilation. Voila! I have now a compilation of these videos. And with a compilation, I have a YouTube video. And YouTube has infinite storage. I could upload 1,000 1-minute clips right now. The YouTube has enough storage for it. So I created my YouTube channel as a memory bank of clips because my Xbox or PlayStation couldn't handle the amount of clips I was making. Now I have an infinite storage device. Which I don't know why they would do. They're not paying me. So it's not like they would get any monetary resources for paying me. If anything, they would lose money for trying to, like, take, the man hours it would take to take down all my channels and videos and, whatever the fuck. So I would think it's actually less efficient for them because they've never paid me money. Not a day on this earth has YouTube paid me money. So for them to take the time and effort to get rid of my channel and all of the YouTube videos it's ever published seems a little abstract. I would get if I was making money off of them and I'm uploading these videos where I have song or movie references, or I'm swearing, etc., etc. You know what? Demonetize it. I don't care. But as a person not making money off of them, it doesn't make sense for them to go to that lengths. I still can't see the individual subscribers. I don't know if it's because I'm being stupid or because I'm not hitting the right button on my computer. If I were to go on my phone, I'm fairly certain I could find individual subscribers. But my phone is across the room on charger. Oh, recent subscribers. Alright. We got Sages. We know who Sages is. I got one person from the military, and I got another person who I think was in high school. Those are my recent subscribers, and it's only showing 3 of them for whatever reason. Which would mean I only have 3 subscribers instead of the 13 that I have. Show me some respect, please and thank you. But no, that's just a perfect example of I can name most of the people who are subscribing, which is kind of sad, but you gotta start somewhere. If you take nothing else from my drunken blabbering, know that you have to start somewhere. Your start line might be further behind other people's start line, but it's yours. Yeah. For example, with your VTubers, You led yourself into that one, you fucking idiot. I was gonna say, for example, with me personally, physical coordination and other physical attributes. In middle school, I was terribly uncoordinated, strong, fast, but I was okay in terms of physical things, right? My starting line was behind everyone else's. Obviously, you have those people who are physically gifted in running or power or whatever the case may be. The only reason I was able to keep up the way that I did is because I tried harder than you. Your entire life, you've known you were stronger and or faster than everyone else. So there's no real degree that you have to push yourself because you're already faster or stronger than everyone else. Me, I was behind everyone else. So I pushed it 120% just to match everybody. So if you didn't give it 100%, my 120 would beat your 100 and I would look like a god. At no point in time in my life have I allowed someone to outwork me. You might outskill me, you might outexperience me, you might outnatural talent me, but you will never, on this God-given green earth, outwork me. That's the big difference. If you take anything away at the end of this Monday to Friday business week, take that. Do not let them outwork you. Let them outskill you. Let them outexperience you because they're 20 years older than you. Do not let them outwork you. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about the stream that I was holding. I had my game pass on with I can recognize that my reaction time if that's like decision making. And there's damage. Alright. Wait, I was supposed to take 3 shots. I took 1 shot. So now those 2 extra shots that I missed, plus the 1 shot that I just have to take for taking damage. Oh, baby. Okay, 3 shots in a row. You're good. Okay. I'm not blackout because I can cognitively recognize that I'm fucked up. So I'm not blackout quite yet. So I'm not afraid of alcohol poisoning. I'm 22, I'm young, I can deal with the liver problems. I can deal with my liver problems. Especially if it's spicy water made by Jack. If you don't get that reference, you haven't drank enough alcohol. Retro, do you get that reference? Do you get that reference? You don't get that reference. Spicy water drank by alcohol. I mean, drank by alcohol. Made by Jack. Name your most recognizable alcohol brand. Okay. No, I'm saying from what you've experienced personally in your life, name your most experienced alcoholic beverage. Right. Alright, so I'm saying spicy water because the name of my stream is Staying Hydrated. My name of my stream is literally my very first stream, ... staying hydrated. If you don't know what staying hydrated is on YouTube, you either never stayed on YouTube long enough or you've never watched a hydrated stream. Watch people playing Lethal Company while staying hydrated. Oh my god. Because Lethal Company, you die a lot, and if you die a lot, you hydrate a lot. But let's think of different alcoholic brands. Nameable ones that you've probably at least heard of. Think of the name Jack. What does Jack ring a bell to you, Petro? He's too busy playing Sonic. If you don't recognize the... Okay, Mario. Name a brand that might have something to do with the word Jack. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, once you see the name, once you Google it, you're gonna be like, oh, I've heard that name a million times. It's Jack Daniels. Jack Harlow is a singer slash producer. The other two I've never heard of, but I'm gonna assume there's some kind of... Okay, yeah, Jack Black, yeah, actor, yeah. So they're popping up different stuff. I'm sure you've at least heard of, if not drank Jack. No, Jack Daniels is a liquor brand. I'm sure the liquor is probably older than the singer. I don't fucking know. Maybe the singer developed the liquor. I don't know. But, for example, this bottle in particular is 35% alcohol by volume at 70 proof. If that means nothing to you, you have not paid attention enough to the bottles that you drink. Okay, let's say for example, 100 proof, right? 100 proof liquor would be a gas. If you see a liquor that is close to 100 proof, it is almost entirely gas. AKA, while it's sliding down your esophagus into your stomach, because of the heat of your internal body, it will literally evaporate. That's why you get that burning sensation. At 70 proof, you're pretty okay. You get a burning sensation, but it's not the worst thing you've ever experienced on the planet, right? At 35% by volume, I don't really know how to compare this, but your beer and your wine coolers typically sit around 3.4 to 7% by volume. Your wines and your margaritas might be around 14 to 16% by volume. This is 35% by volume. That means for every liquid volume of this bottle, there is 39% alcohol. Per every liquid volume, there's 35% alcohol. The rest of it might be water or corn syrup or whatever else they mix in it, right? The higher you go up in proof, the more the burning sensation, because the more it evaporates. The higher you go up in alcohol percentage, the more actual alcohol is in the bottle. I think beer usually settles around like 6%, maybe even less than that. depending. Wine coolers, like what I typically tend to play with, this one 3.2%. Let's take that and multiply it to get to 35%. It's 254 for you, Retro? Oh, the timer on the stream, got you. 10:10? Okay, you're in the same time zone as me. That's what I was confused about. Because you said 2 something. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like 10 o'clock here. Right, that's what threw me off. Like, I know you in here, you over here in the States. Like, what? Where's my Kool-Aid at? That's my sober drink. Where's my Kool-Aid? You got me here. Why wouldn't you stream one? Chat, if you're bored of Retro and his bitch-ass Sonic streams, you primarily stream Sonic, and you and your chat knows it. Sonic Shadow Generations, yeah, I got it. Me, I will either stream on facts, and that's one thing that pisses me off both with myself and other like viewers is they'll get mad when you don't upload the stuff that they watch. Motherfucker, if you don't watch it, go find the people that do play it. And if you can't find the people that play it, maybe you need to play it more, because you seem to be the only person that enjoys it. For instance, there was like a solid month where I was stuck on Prison Architect. If you don't know what Prison Architect is, basically, you are the warden and you design a prison. You get to decide what kind of inmates go into your prison. You get to decide what your prison looks like, whether it forms more on function or, other stuff. You get to run programs in the prison, like religious programs, or maybe working in the kitchen programs, other stuff like that. You get to, build a yard, build the showers, build the cell blocks. You get to hire armed juggernaut guards. You get to hire sniper guards. You get to hire fucking canine dog guards. And you get to set their patrol paths to literally patrol inside of the room, which is the most overpowered thing ever, because if you run the guard dogs through the different cell rooms, you will literally catch them with any illegal items that they're supposed to have. And it's like, it gets really in-depth. And at least for me, because I love design. I love designing. Even in middle school and high school, when you took those tests that decided, maybe this is your dream career. You remember those, Retro? All of the different kind of designers were always at the type of mind. Architectural designer, draft designer, all those different kind of designers are always at the top of mind. I love designing. I love interior decorating. I love exterior. I love making things look appealing to the eye. I don't know where I was going with the story. I forgot how we got here. Right, right. So in other words, if what I'm doing does not appeal to your eyes or ears, find somewhere that does. And if you can't find someone to watch it, then do it your fucking self. Find your DIY project, purchase your items off of Amazon or Craigslist, and make it happen. Probably the best interior design job that I've ever done. Retro, have you ever, or have you or any of your family members on gone like hollow? Yeah. Have you or any of your family members gone holiday shopping for decorations and bought too many decorations before? I have an example of this. It was Christmas. It was Christmas. My family had bought some new decorations for the tree. We put the decorations on the tree. We bought some new decorations for the house. We put the decorations around the house. We get down to the end of things, and it turns out that they had bought one too many blue light fixtures for the house. So I look at, I don't even like extend the cable because it's wrapped up in that thing that those lights are usually wrapped up on, right? I just kind of gauge it while it's wrapped up, and then I look at the basement, and I'm like, you know what? We could probably wrap these lights around the entire basement, and it would probably just barely light up the entire basement. And they were like, you know what? We'll try it. We have nothing better to do with these lights anyway. So they string up the lights, and Lord and behold, if you took a door frame and the start of the lights was on the left side of the door frame, and the end of the lights, because they ran out of light, was on the right side of the door frame, that's how much distance was between the start and the finish once they got done stringing up the lights. That's how good my mental brain was back in the day with interior design. I didn't even need to unravel the light to measure it. I could just gauge it while it was still wrapped up and be like, you know what, that'll fit in your basement. And I was only a door frame off. Which is what, like 8 inches? Maybe a foot? And because the lights are as bright as they are, and you have nothing else to do with them, they work perfectly in your basement. I don't know. I owe chat 3 shots. Ayo Retro, tune into my stream now that you're done with your stream. Get me those views, big dog. You know what? Don't even plug your YouTube name. Plug your IRL name. Make it dangerous for your life. I want to know if your name is Jameson Hennessy. Let me know. Yeah, Retro, tuning to the stream, my big boy. I haven't played the game in like a good 15 minutes because I've been talking to you. Where is my controller? My controller is right there. Where is my vape? I don't know where. Oh, it's on my pillow. I got my vape. My good juice. Alright, Retro. No, wait, you're switching from your computer to your laptop. Never mind. I'll wait for you to make that transition. Let me know when you do. Because it's been so long since I've taken an alcoholic beverage into my system, and I do owe chat at least 3 shots. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take 3 shots. And then I'm going to ask you to pick a random number between 1 and 7, and that'll decide the trivia question that I get. And if I get that trivia question wrong, that's 4 shots. And remind you, these are not shots out of a shot glasses, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know where my second shot glass went. These are swigs straight from the bottle. These are undetermined quantities and volumes. And I can already tell that my motor function is going because at one point I slammed the bottle into my top row of teeth. There's one. There's one. Take the take the chaser, wash away the burns. Admittedly, spicy water honey jack does not burn as much as regular spicy water Tennessee jack. But it still burns. That's what you get when you get that high in proof alcohol percentage. Second shot that I owe chat. Chaser. I feel like I could take on fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. Retro, you know you're drunk when you feel like you can take on a bodybuilder. I feel like I could fight Conor McGregor right now and win. You know what? Put Tyson in there. I'm gonna do better than Paul did because the fight's not gonna be staged at that point. Third shot that I owe chat. Oh, that burns. Chaser to follow it up. Retro, what number did I say that I would have you pick? 1 through 7? Retro! I said I would have you pick a number. Was it 1 through 7? No, that was earlier, wasn't it? I meant like the most recently. 4. Let's hope I can count. 1, 2, 3. Animal trivia questions. I'm probably gonna get this wrong. What is the loudest animal on Earth? I have no fucking clue. You know what? I'm gonna take a shot in the dark for the loudest animal on Earth. I'm gonna say a whale. Because they probably hit some very deep notes and some very loud notes echoing through the ocean the way they do. Right? Right? I'm gonna say a type of whale. The sperm whale! I am correct. Suck my dick. I'm not taking an extra shot. Okay, let me just say this, Retro. You're in the military. You go to a party. And you start playing a game that's called Circle of Death. Death. Essentially how this game works, let's say you've got some kind of alcohol with a can, right? It could be like, a Bud Light in a can, it could be a Truly in a can. Essentially there's a can in the center, right? Obviously with cans you have that thumbtack, right? Around that can, you have a deck of cards. Each individual card has a certain thing. For instance, the ace is a waterfall. What happens with that is whoever drew the ace has to keep drinking until everyone playing the game starts drinking. However, the next person cannot stop drinking until the person before them stops drinking. You might get a card like the Jack card, which is essentially make a rule. The rule we commonly made in the military was you have to lick the tip of the bottle before you take a drink. And if you forget to do that, you have to take a second one. And every time you draw a card and do the action of that card, you put the card underneath the thumbtack of the can in the center. Until eventually, the thumbtack breaks the seal on the can. If you are the unfortunate one to break the thumbtack on the seal of the can, release the pressure inside of it, you now have to shotgun that can in the center. For those of you who don't know what shotgunning is, you have to drink the entire can until it is empty. In one stroke. You're not allowed to pull the can back to take a breath. You're not allowed to do any of that. You have to drink the can until it is bone dry. And then we can reset the game with a new thing. I have done this game on so many occasions, mixed with so many different versions of liquor, beer, wine coolers. Honest and truthfully, I can go for a good long while. I'm gonna get stupid on the way there. But I can go for a good long while.
decide which one of you will die first.
Yeah, I recognize that name that's in my chat. I got one person in my chat that I know in the first. They're there. They're commenting. You know what? I'm with it. Because you know what? It drives up the analytics percentage. I got comments and I got viewership. That's all I need in life. Alright, that's a mission done, which means we're going to another trivia question. I believe Angel is still at work, or at least she's still deafened. So, Retro, number between 1 and 6. 1, 2, 3. Sports trivia. I'm gonna lose this one. Okay, I accidentally read the answer instead of the question, so we're gonna go down to question number 2. Which country originated the sport of curling? Curling, if you don't know, is that weird sport where you shave away the ice as a little thing slides down it. You gotta land it on a certain spot. I'm gonna guess, considering the topic of ice, is a colder state, like Canada or Russia, or, you know, somewhere up in the Slavic states, right? You get what I mean, Retro? Russia, I don't think would develop something like that, nor would I. I'm gonna guess Canada. Scotland. It was one of those. Actually, no, Scotland. Where's Scotland? That's near the UK. That's surprising. Well, I mean, they have rain. I don't know about their ice percentage. Either way. I gotta take a shot. Either way, because I got the question wrong. I want to see if I can go into my broadcast. I have one person watching. I'm gonna guess. Retro, you're not tuning into my stream, are you? You gonna send the link? You know what? That's something that I haven't done that you actually do in the gaming chat on Discord. I will send the link because no one knows that my YouTube channel exists. I know, and you do that all the time, and I probably would have done that if I wasn't like 4 or 5 chats deep when I started streaming. How do I? Okay, so I go to YouTube on my phone, right? And then do I just go to like my YouTube channel? How do I promote my own? Oh, it's right there. Right, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just a little drunk and it's a little more difficult than it should be. Where do you normally put it? Do you put it in promote land? Do you put it in the gaming chat? Where do you normally put it? It's funny because I accidentally clicked on my stream to share the stream with you, so now I can hear my sentences like after I finish them. Alright. I sent it. I believe I sent it. Correct, Retro? Alright. So we in this bitch. Right. Well, to be fair, Oh, and that's spilled. I forgot to put the towel back. I forgot to put the top on the jack after I was done drinking it. Now it's all over my floor because I kicked it. Okay. That's fine. I'll deal with that in the morning when I'm sober. Retro, you're still in Discord, by the way. You can still talk to me in Discord. Yeah. You're just in the chat now. I saw that I have 2 people watching now instead of 1. I answered the trivia question. I got it wrong, which means I have to take a shot off of the floor, which I just spilled on. Oh, that burns. I should probably put the top back on before I spill it again. Where is the top? I see the bottles. I see the bottle tops to the wine coolers I just spilled. Not spilled. I see the bottom. I see the wine cooler tops to the bottles that I've opened. I do not see the top for the bottle of Jack that I have opened. You know what? We'll deal with it. Mission 4. I don't even remember what this mission is. That's how drunk I am. Oh, it's this one where you would be interviewed to Virgil, but I'm not Virgil. Virgil in this campaign because I hate the regular campaign because I hate using Virgil and Nero. I hated Nero back in Devil May Cry 4, to be honest with you. Retro, what do you think my biggest issue with Devil May Cry 4 and Yeah, so for the campaign, honestly speaking, was relatively easy. I don't think there was ever really a point that I had to lean forward and try hard for, right? But aside from that, Nero's gameplay. Nero handles like Nero's combos and like his actual damage for those combos are like weirdly disproportionate. At least for the difficulty that I was playing. Like, I felt like I had to beat the fuck out of motherfuckers despite the combos he was pulling. And then, in Devil May Cry 4, once you actually got to control Dante, I felt like I was whacking motherfuckers, like left and right. So it's like, I guess, where's the balance? Because Nero moves slow, like a tank, but his damage would suggest, and his combos would suggest, that he's supposed to be a speedster that essentially just adds up damage as he hits these combos on you. But he's a tank, so he's slow. And so you don't get that speedster effect of adding damage, but you have low damage. That's the thing I hated about Nero, and it unfortunately translated to 5 from 4. Virgil is just fucking Virgil. He's exactly how he was in fucking Devil May Cry 3, where you can hit any combo and fucking kill, like, 10 enemies. Like, actually, I do have to. I will say this though, at least they balanced Virgil by giving him a concentration. If your concentration gauge is not maxed with Virgil, you will not be doing the maximum amount of damage, you will not have the maximum amount of speed. It's just not, you know, the special. And you know what? I'm okay with that. They had to add some kind of limiter to the overpowered kind of motherfucker that is. And I'm okay with it how they did the limiter for that. I know I took damage during that content. I was thinking like that. You know what? I'm just gonna take a really large switch from this wine cooler for now because I feel like my throat is still burning a little bit. Ugh. Respond to my text messages because I have them. Retro, here's a question that I have constantly all the time whenever I do something that requires the court of public. You know what I mean, right? Being in the court of public opinion as and as someone seeking entertainment, right? Is this entertaining to you? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained by my drunken dance? I feel like that should be its own tag. Like, we have, you know, the gaming tag, we have, you know, the streaming tag. I feel like drunken dancing and gaming. Because that's always been, like, my main issue. Well, what I'm asking, you know, is this something you find interesting? My drunken gameplay and banter on YouTube. Because that's always been like my biggest issue, even with the books that I write. It's like, is this entertaining for somebody? Like, is this actually poking someone's, you know, interest in this? Is this satisfying someone's urge of food? Because, like, yeah, it's interesting to me. Obviously, I'm the one who do the, you know, story. I just think this is interesting because the sun is up. But it doesn't matter to me, because I made it. Obviously, I'm going to find it interesting to me. I want to know what the people are viewing. Which, because I have such a low subscriber, viewer, and commenting rate for, I can't get reviews. So it's not like I can go on my, YouTube analytics and look at a comment and be like, oh, it's really entertaining, you should do it more. There's no one comments, no one even really views it, it's just kind of there. So it's like, is this... Yeah, so like, me personally, I love Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5 is the first game that I played, I want to say, I guess, more intensely since all the way back in Devil May Cry 3, which was all the way back in like the PS2 era, because that's what I played it on. So the fact that we've skipped 2 generations to get to a game that I play more intensely in the Devil May Cry universe says a lot. But this was also the game where we got Virgil back. This was, big steps in a lot of different ways. That being said, I have other games that I would like. Oh, I've always loved Virgil, just his mannerisms and like his abilities and like the fact that he just shits on you in the campaign if you haven't actually learned how to play the game. Like, I love a good boss that reminds you, oh yeah, you're not actually that good at the game. You never really learned how to parry. You never really learned how to dodge. You never really learned how to wait for your turn to strike. I love bosses like that. That's why I also think, I've never seen that many clips, but, what is Sun Wukong? Is that the new name? Like the monkey? Retro! Yeah, that's the other game that's like recently that's like, what is it, the very final boss, like if you try to heal the mid-boss fight, he'll fucking freeze time on you, look at the elixir, and then take the elixir himself and heal. So the boss will heal himself off of your elixir, and you will get 0 healing effects to try and get fight. Trying to heal this stuff. The fact that that is a mechanic in game where the boss steals your healing is fucking insane. In other words, if you can't beat me straight up, you shouldn't be here. Oh wow. Yeah. And I love those skill check bosses because you literally have to redefine everything you've been doing in the game up to this point. I know, chat, I took damage, I'm taking another shot. Because honest and truthfully, I think that's the mechanics of a good boss. Like maybe one boss teaches you not to heal because they're still your heals. And now the boss is harder because they have more health. This boss steals your heals. This boss robs you of your damage, which means you really have to work that defense and that parrying, because that's the only time you can really deal damage despite having less damage. Maybe this boss robs you of your evasive, so now you have to work on your timing to get that parry effect. That's what I think makes a good boss fight. It robs you of one skill and forces you to emphasize another skill. Like, what is it? Eggman, what, Casino World, where he has the 3 slot machines for like his buff to his machines. A perfect example of that, I think there's one role where like he'll spawn a bunch of Eggman robots, but when he spawns the Eggman robots, they drop their weapons after they're killed. So now you can attack him from a distance. Balance. There's a Chaos Blast. You just automatically fill your Chaos Blast meter. You know, that's cool, but there's also a meter in there where Eggman gets his own, like, super powered attack, and it's, like, really hard to evade. Balance. I feel like we've lost the semblance of the word balanced, because everyone wants to have an advantage in some way, shape, or form. Alright, let's go. I think I'm on the verge of blackout because I'm really starting to lose my semblance of self. And my face is all tingly. When my face gets all tingly, oh yeah, it's party time, baby. What day is it? It's Friday, right? Retro, it's Friday? Alright, I'm fresh off of work. It's Friday. Alright. At least I got my days straight still. I reached for my bottle of spicy water Jack and missed twice. Yeah, I'm starting to feel it. To say the least. Ugh. Oh, baby. Actually, you know what? I don't want to fight the boss in Mission 4. If anyone has fought the night. If you have fought the boss in Mission 4 of Devil May Cry 5, you know that boss fight is cancer. So, I'm not gonna play that boss fight. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to switch to a different mission because it's about the end of the encounters on Mission 4. We're gonna skip to... No, I didn't want to resume. That's the wrong button. Because the Mission 4 boss fight is essentially 3 boss fights in one. So it's stupid. And at no point, unless you're like a god, you're not avoiding Mission 4. And unless you're avoiding Mission 5, I got you. Not, the base level 2. got tier, where they spawn all of those fucking jumpy motherfuckers, you're not escaping mission 5 in the first stage without taking a drink in my scenario. So we're gonna jump. What is mission? Mission 6 is entirely a boss fight by itself. There's no actual small enemies, there's no adventuring. It's just a boss fight. Ignoring that. 7 isn't terrible. I feel like if you sweat it a little bit too much, you might be able to clear 7 without taking any damage whatsoever. I'm not that skilled, but we're gonna try. Oh, and since we're starting a new mission, Retro, pick a number between 1 and 6. 2. Computer work for me, baby. Entertainment trivia. What is the question? In which city the famous film Lady Bird took place? Ironic that it's called a famous film, because I've never fucking heard of it. I'm gonna assume, like with all famous movies, they were probably featured or started or aired in New York City. It was in Sacramento, California. All right. This is not a good stream for me. But after this mission, I will be switching games to a game that requires multiplayer capability and really intense focus. Great. Right. Which is why I named my stream Part 1 or P1. Because I knew that I was going to switch games. Or at least I wanted to try the idea of it. Because I thought it would be funny. You've seen some gameplay for Helldivers 2, right? Imagine someone being so drunk that they can't recognize that they're walking into a swarm of enemies and just dying. That's essentially what's probably going to happen to me, because after I'm done with this next mission on Devil May Cry 5, I fully intend to jump on the Helldivers. That's probably not going to end well considering how much alcohol I've consumed. And again, fuck you YouTube, I tried to use the word hydration, it feels like I have a stroke. But also, you're not paying me for what I upload. So I don't care. Everything is in twos. My controller looks like it's 2 controllers. My TV looks like it's 2 TVs. It's gonna be a very interesting mission. I don't have my combo. I got really dizzy and really spit. Retro, how are you doing, my brother? I got really dizzy and kinda sleepy out of nowhere. What time is it? I can't see the clock. I'm close, baby. I'm close. You know what, Retro? I don't know that I can remember this question while drunk. Where are you from, my good sir? USA, what state at least? Don't have to give me a city, what state? Really? I don't know too many people who are. I imagine in Washington, D.C. as almost kind of like a Beverly Hills. Like, you have to be rich and be in like an important family to be anywhere near Washington, D.C. Considering that's where the president sleeps at night. You know what I mean? So Washington D.C. to me is just a private estate, but I know where it is, which explains why we're in the same time zone. I'm getting sleepy because it's 11. I'm getting sleepy because it's 11 o'clock, and usually for work I clock out around 9 or 10, depending on how the week went. But I'm also extra sleepy because alcohol. Take a drink. I know in chat before you belittle me, I know there was a couple of shots that I took earlier. That's because I'm coming off of the pause and there was already a swing 3/4 of the way through. I can't avoid that. The other thing is, fuck it. The people are probably saying something. The people are probably saying something. I just can't articulate it because I don't speak it. Retro, have you ever heard of a comedian named Fluffy or Gabriel Iglesias? This man. Okay, did you watch Looney Tunes growing up, Retro? Do you remember Speedy Gonzalez? Fluffy is the voice for Speedy Gonzalez. And to this day, he is a comedian. But the crazy thing about Gabriel is usually, people have skits, they'll have jokes lined up. Gabriel will just tell you the story of his life. Like, he has a part of his show that's designated for, him visiting his visiting of India, his visiting of the Middle East, And, you know, this, that, and the third. And his storytelling is so immaculate. He can even make the sounds of the story as if the story is coming to life in front of him. And it's a really interesting and cool concept when you're sober. I can't stop smiling and I can't open my eyes. I feel like I might be gone. We're gonna skip this section because I feel like I'm way too close to just dying. We're gonna jump